In this video, I will be showing an example of how to use the embroidery software and embroidery machine from start to finish, utilizing the SparkPlace logo. The machine itself contains basic type and designs, but if you have a custom image or logo you would like embroidered, you'll have to make the file in Drawings X Pro. One computer in the space has the software. When you log on to the computer as a guest using your library card number, you'll find the program on the desktop. Double-click to open, and the first box to appear will be a notification asking for the activation code. Simply click OK, and it will automatically take you to the next prompt. Here you'll find the serial number and activation code are already entered. Merely click Activate to proceed. The box will update to show that the key was successful. From there, you may close the box and double-click on the program once again to finally open it. The program always opens to the welcome screen as seen here. Many important features are housed here, but the first one I want to mention are the video tutorials. There are numerous clearly labeled videos that will show you how to use the many features of this software. From here, we can also pick the machine and hoop that we plan to embroider on. The company of the embroidery machine that we have at SparkPlace is a brother, but if you have access to another machine elsewhere, you'll need to set it for the one you plan on using. Next, you'll need to set the machine type. Now, the one that SparkPlace has is technically not listed, but if you pick the first option that begins with the letters SE, it will work just fine. Lastly, you need to choose the size of the hoop you wish to use. We have 3 different sizes. Be aware, this is an option that you can change later on. From there, it is recommended to go to the fabric option. You can choose the type of embroidering you'll be doing, the color of the cloth, and even the type of cloth. The color option is just for representational purposes only, but can be useful to visualize what the actual item will look like while in the design phase. After you've completed these steps, you are able to open the SVG or vector file that you would like to work with. Your SVG file will open in a new tab and on the hoop you selected previously. The zoom option is towards the bottom right. You can also scroll up and down for a complete workspace view. The red grid shows you the embroidery area of the hoop you've chosen. The logo file uploaded with the white background that the software has turned into stitches. To get rid of unwanted elements, there are a few options. One is that you can simply click on the part you would like to delete and hit the delete or backspace bar on your keyboard. But that didn't delete all of the unwanted white stitching. Another option is to come to the bottom where the thread colors are depicted and right-click on the desired color. From here, you can choose Select by Color and then press the Delete key on your keyboard to delete every stitching of that selected color. As you can see, all of the spaces inside the letters is now devoid of white stitching. If on the Selection tool, you also have the option to do a large selection of multiple shapes by clicking, holding, and dragging the cursor to form a box that includes the items you wish to select. Another keyboard shortcut is to hit Ctrl-A, which functions as a Select All. From here, you can change the size of your image by grabbing the corner and manipulating it, or you can rotate your image. The top toolbar is another way that you may manipulate your design. If you zoom in and select a single shape, to the right, it will tell you the kind of stitch that it has defaulted to. Right now, it looks as though all of the letters in the logo are a satin stitch beside the letter S. To change this, I'll simply click on the letter I'd like to edit and change it from the default step stitch to a satin stitch so that it will match the rest of the letters. Now, as you can see, the logo is much smaller than the hoop I originally chose. To change this, simply go to the Machine Hoop tool towards the bottom left and double-click on the hoop icon that appears to the top right. This will bring up an Edit Hoop window where you can change the hoop size. I'll choose the medium hoop so it will be easier to work with. It doesn't matter where you place your image on the hoop as long as it stays within the red gridded boundaries. If you place your image outside of the workable area, the gridded area will turn red, alerting you to the problem and showing you the space you must work within. The last thing you'll want to do before you save your file is to run an optimizer. To do this, you'll have to change from auto to manual and then click Optimize. Leave the simple option clicked and click OK. By doing this, it will find the most efficient way to embroider your design with the least number of thread changes. Once it's done running, click Manual so that it changes back to auto, and then you're ready to do a slow redraw. This is a great feature which shows you exactly how the embroidery machine is going to embroider your file. It is finally time to save our file. For our embroidery machine at Sparkplace, you'll need to save it as a PES extension. You'll then save it to the desktop or directly onto the thumb drive, which will eventually be inserted into the embroidery machine. When it is finished saving, it will give you the total stitch count for your file. When embroidering at Sparkplace, everything you'll need, besides the item you are embroidering on, is available to you free of charge. Here we have the 3 hoop sizes, pre-wound bobbins, thread, a seam ripper, small clippers, thumb drive, and fabric scissors. When ready to begin, first start by moving the embroidery machine away from the wall so that the embroidery carriage may move freely and not strike the wall. The power switch can be found to the right along with the USB port for the thumb drive. When the machine turns on, it will ask you to touch the display and will then warn you that the embroidery carriage will move once you press OK. Then you're ready to insert the thumb drive into the port. To access the file, press the USB icon on the display screen and scroll using the arrows beneath to find your file. Highlight the file you wish to use by pressing it and then pressing the load icon at the top right. We have quite the array of thread colors for you to use, free of charge, but you are always free to bring your own. I'm going to pull out the 2 thread colors I'll be needing for the logo, a yellow and a blue. Next we'll need to set up our hoop so that we can load it into the machine. For most projects, you will just need 2 layers. The bottom layer is a tearaway stabilizing backing that we have available free of charge, and the other layer is whatever material you have brought with you to embroider on. The hoop is 2 pieces held together by tension. By releasing the tension, the 2 pieces easily come apart with the smaller top half and a larger bottom half. To differentiate between the top and bottom, these little raised lines go towards the top and the smooth face goes towards the bottom. Once you've set up your hoop, it should look similar to this. The fabric should be smooth and lightly taut, and everything nestled into one another, and the screw tightened, but not overly so. Make sure the bottom has the 2 cutaways facing down so that the hoop attaches to the carriage arm the correct way. Now that you're ready to load the hoop, carefully slide it under the raised presser foot and attach it to the side clip of the carriage arm. The display will tell you which color to load first. Make sure not to lose this small gray piece. It is needed to help keep thread from tangling and ripping while the machine is running. To thread the machine, simply follow the printed and numbered path. Please be aware that the self-threader on this machine is not working and therefore taped over. You will have to thread the needle by hand once you have followed the path. Once the machine is threaded, you can lower the presser foot. By doing this, the red light in the front will switch to green, letting you know that the machine is ready. Simply press the green button and the machine will begin working. If at any time you would like to stop the machine, simply press the green button again. This is something I like to do in order to trim threads so that they do not become a trimming problem later on as the logo progresses. The machine will not lose its place, but simply begin again when restarted. Like any machine in Sparkplace, you are required to stay with the machine while it is in use. Be aware that the machine is not this fast. I have sped up this portion of the video. When the machine is done with the first color, it will stop itself and prompt you to change the thread. First, you must lift the presser foot to release the tension. While the display screen technically says orange, I know I want this last piece of my logo to be yellow. Once the thread is loaded and the needle threaded, merely lower the presser foot and hit the green button for it to begin. This portion of the video is in real time and has not been sped up or slowed down. When the machine is finished, it will stop itself and display an alert on the screen that it is finished sewing. You may also notice that the green light has turned red if either the presser foot is up or down. This is because the sewing is finished. Simply press OK and it will take you back to the beginning. Now if you are done for the day, you can hit the back arrow and the screen will ask if it is alright to delete the selected pattern. It is not asking to delete it from the thumb drive, but instead to delete it from the embroidery machine itself. Click OK and it will take you back to the home screen. With the presser foot up, you can remove the thread and then remove the hoop itself. Loosen the screw to remove the hoop from your material. The backing will simply rip away without too much force. You can clean it up and remove as much or as little of the small pieces as you prefer. The machine has left behind jump threads, but with the use of the seam ripper and small clippers, those are easily removed. And there we have our final embroidery project. Like all machines in SparkPlace, we ask you to clean up after yourself and to turn machines off. Please do not leave this small gray piece loose, but return it to its proper place on the machine. You can close the thread lid to keep dust out and remove your thumb drive. The tearaway stabilization backing can be thrown away and the rest of the items put in their proper place.